Matthew McConaughey absolutely silences Joy Behar after she asks this one question. You guys have got to check this out.
You not in person, but on TV, was at the men's final at the U.S. Open.
Yes.
You were in Djokovic's box.
Yes.
And you were the first hug he gave when he came up.
Yeah.
Do you guys go way back? What's the connection there?
Look
at that.
He's first friends with my wife. Camilla right there. Look at her. Yeah, look how happy she is. And then I got to know him through her. We've had a couple dinners along the way, and I'm a big fan.
Yes.
I mean, what a surgeon and a warrior. And the resilience of what he's done. It's amazing. So anyway, yeah, I was happy to be in his box. Got to sit behind his parents, which was really awesome to see them when he brings them up and where they started.
Anti-vaxxer? I believe
an anti-vaxxer?
I believe so, yeah. Just saying.
Way to bring it down.
But you were,
I'm just kidding. You were in. I think he just won and ran towards you. Like I feel like that's what I would do. I'd be like, that's Matthew McConaughey.
I think I was sitting in just the right seat. He was coming down the stairs. I was on the back right up top. So there I was.
You and Camilla have 3 kids. Levi, who's 15,
Yes.
Vida, 13, and Livingston, 10.
Yes.
What kind of dad are you? That's a probably loaded
Kind of
question.
dad.
I'm a good dad.
We got 20 minutes for this answer. I'm working on it. Look, being a dad was the only thing that I ever knew I wanted to be. I knew that at 8 years old. I remember shaking hands with my dad's friend who he would introduce me to, and he was a big sirs and ma'ams man. And I noticed that everyone I would say yes sir to over the years when I was 8, it's like, oh, the one thing that's common is they're all fathers. Maybe that's why I'm calling them sir. And I was like, that's my aspiration. That's when you become a sir as a man. And that was my idea when I was 8, and I still believe it in a lot of ways. So, look, as y'all know, those of you who have children, you find out that DNA means a lot more than you thought it did after you have a kid. They come out who they are.
Are they like you?
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And they're all very particular and different as well. So we shepherd them along as parents with an environment that does matter a lot. But boy, they are who they are. The same things I was writing about their peculiarities when they were 2, they match with who they are, what I'm writing about them today.
I want to applaud you for being so outspoken against violence and gun violence in particular. And you're a Texan, and you spoke so passionately at the White House last year in the wake of that shooting at Robb Elementary in your hometown of
That's why we're wearing
Uvalde.
these little pins,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Your wife
Uvalde.
held up one of the victims' green Converse.
Yeah.
Her name was Maite Rodriguez. Her mother, Anna Rodriguez, sent these to us. And to learn more about it, you can check our website later. But I remember that you and your wife were very involved there. And now you have launched the Green Lights Grant Initiative to help make schools safer.
Yes.
Please tell us about that.
Thank you for the opportunity to. So what we found out after what happened at Robb Elementary and in many other schools, the first bill was passed in 30 years to help make the schools safer. Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. Billions of dollars to safen schools. What I find out months after the bill's been passed is that very few applications are going in from the school districts. And for those that are applying, very few are getting granted and awarded. So the money's still there. And we're like, wait, where's the gap? Well, we found out that these superintendents have to fill out these grants to the government. A lot of them are driving the school bus and they're the PE teacher, and this grant process is 50 pages and it's intimidating.
Wow.
And I don't know about y'all, but I have trouble making it through filling a custom card out without having to scratch stuff out. It is intimidating, so they don't have the expertise at the time. The government wants these grants to be filed. They want to spend the money. It's use it or lose it money. And if we don't spend that money that the government has by 2026, it could be reallocated.
In 2021, you considered to run for governor of the state of Texas. Do you think political office is in your future? Can you see that?
If it's where I would deem myself to be most useful,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you think you could get elected in Texas being anti-gun?
Do I think I could get elected in Texas being anti-gun? One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is me playing a game that I'm not interested in playing. To give you a direct statement right there.
What she tried to do right there is pigeonhole him into a position, one that he might not even have. That's what a lot of these journalists do. They want to have you on record saying this or that. When in reality, there's a gray area. Not everything is black and white, yes or no. And that's exactly what politicians and journalists do so well. They're good articulating and verbalizing things that just don't really answer the question. They kind of like walk around it. And Matthew McConaughey, he wasn't having any of that. He's like, I'm just not going to answer that question. Now, I'm not saying that Matthew McConaughey is this big-time conservative, he loves guns, this and that. I'm not saying that. He's probably quite moderate, especially because he's in Hollywood. For example, check out this video where Matthew McConaughey talks after a school shooting, and you'll see he's not some crazy gun guy, and he's not some person who wants to abolish all guns. He's quite moderate, actually.
Responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership. We need background checks. We need to raise the minimum age to purchase an AR-15 rifle to 21. We need a waiting period for those rifles. We need red flag laws and consequences for those who abuse them. These are reasonable, practical, tactical regulations to our nation, states, communities, schools, and homes. Responsible gun owners are fed up with the Second Amendment being abused and hijacked. These regulations are not a step back. They're a step forward for a civil society and the Second Amendment.
First and foremost, I want to give the utmost respect to Matthew McConaughey for being able to sit in a room with all these women, because these ladies speak gibberish on a day-to-day basis. I don't know how anyone watches that. But when it comes to what he was saying about guns, they want to have you on record saying the guns are bad. All guns from private citizens should be abolished. You should not be allowed to have a gun, which is the most idiotic thing I could ever imagine. There is a reason that the Founding Fathers put this as the Second Amendment, because if the First Amendment ever gets infringed, we have the Second Amendment to make sure we get those back. The issue with the school shooting and all this stuff, it has nothing to do with guns. A gun never killed a person. A person was operating the gun and used that gun to kill another person. When somebody gets in a car accident, do we blame the car for the accident, or do we blame the person operating the vehicle? That's how this should be viewed. And if you actually wanted to tackle the school shooting issue, you need to raise a society where the men start acting like men again. For far too long, society has been telling men, act with your emotions, it's okay to cry, it's okay to do this. Don't be a victim of your environment, because every single time there's a school shooting, every single person, they are mentally deranged. You're not going to find the strong, silent man whose only mission is to help protect those around him doing these heinous acts, because that is completely counter how a true, real man should act. And I know I'm getting a bit off topic, but I just want to pose a question for you before we leave. Who is more likely to commit a school shooting? A man who goes to the gym every day, works on himself, has a loving family, who is raised well and told to always protect those around him? Or the only child person who goes to therapy twice a week, hopped up on drugs, doing all this crazy thing, transgender, who's more likely to commit a school shooting? This is a mental illness problem. This is not a gun problem. And that's what a lot of the left tries to paint this as. And that is not helping this problem. That is only gassing the flames. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Would you ever vote for Matthew McConaughey for any role in political office? Let me know. I'd love to hear that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Until next time.